yours, and then mine's right there.
One of the main reasons it's important for students to have a portfolio in general is because we grow up in an era where you have a notebook and you keep track of your work and you reflect and you look back on it and you study, you learn all these things. But now with digital work, it's really hard to keep track of everything you're doing. So I wanted a place where the students could look back at their work, they can study, they can recall what they did, but they can also see their growth. They can see, here's what we were doing in August and September, and look at what you're doing in January. And so they can kind of see their own progress. One of the places I use to store all their work is Google Sites. Originally during the pandemic, I used Google Slides, which makes a great notebook, and I recommend it too. But we do a lot of videos and items that take bigger file sizes. And after a while, the students' notebooks were so large, they started crashing. So instead of having them keep it in Google Slides, where they have a bunch of different slides, I started using Google Sites for their notebooks. And so now the students are building their own little web page, and they have different links to different units that they're doing, and all their assignments can fit into one place. In sixth grade history, we have different standards, and our units tend to revolve around those standards. So the notebook is organized by the standards that we teach. So each standard has its own web page in the Google Sites. Right now, we do self-reflections on our notebooks approximately every quarter to every semester, depending on what's going on campus. I intend to next year change that to have reflections after every unit, so they are constantly looking back at their work. And also, I intend to have them set goals so that they can take their own ownership of their learning and, really want to, hopefully really want to progress. Remember how we talked about the Hammurabi Code, and you guys wanted to throw your classmates into the river. Some of you still want to throw your classmates into the river. But anyways, go through each of your assignments, refresh your memory, and then take about 2 minutes to answer those questions. I really think that if they're constantly seeing their progress and that they're making progress, they're going to be more driven to continue that and to want to continue to grow. So I've been using QR codes for a long time. I actually have QR codes for my lesson plans, and you just scan them and go to them. So I thought, why can't I do that for the notebook? So every student made a QR code with a picture of themselves holding their QR code. And so every single student's work is on the wall. So it's not me playing favorites. It's not the same kids always on the wall. Every kid has an opportunity to show their work to anyone who walks into the room. And so I set up the QR codes where anyone can scan it, and it'll take you right to that kid's web pages. Once in a while, there's issues with permissions and they forget to share things, but for the most part, you can see any kid's assignment up there, and it just gives every kid an opportunity to feel like, okay, my work's important enough to be on the wall too.